responsibility, solidarity, and peace. We have all the tools. We are standing in front of an opportunity to change the course of life on the planet. Let's work together to make this world better, where everybody can live with dignity and abundance. Our future starts now. When you are named a faith keeper of the Onondaga Council of Chiefs, and for me, it was 51 years ago, you are told that we are now placing in your hands all life, and it is your responsibility to look after all life. Every person, every tree, every animal, every stream, and the earth itself. Unto the seventh generation. When you are named a faith keeper of the Onondaga Council of Chiefs, and for me, it was 51 years ago, you are told that we are now placing in your hands all life, and it is your responsibility to look after all life. Every person, every tree, every animal, every stream, and the earth itself, unto the seventh generation. In 1972, the world started a process that is mapping our future. The United Nations Conference on the Human Environment held in Stockholm brought the industrialized and developing nations together to delineate the rights of people to a healthy and productive environment.
The environmental crisis will profoundly alter our planet.
Fossil fuels is slowly warming the globe.
Our report is founded upon the concept of sustainable development.
We all have two hands and the sentiment of the world.
Now I wonder if they will even exist.
We are plundering our children's heritage for our present unsustainable practices.
Notre maison brûle.
The key is to come out from Johannesburg with a credible commitment to action.
Now is your moment
to save ourselves and the planet for our children.
We can fix this. We can stop this madness.
Accelerated climate change is here right now.
I will link arms with those marching for climate action.
We, baby, are going to fight. Mommy, Daddy, your president too. We will all fight.
We are experiencing a process that is linking our nations and communities much more closely together than they have ever been before. Our lives are intertwined via the food we eat, the music we listen to, the information we get, and the ideas we hold. Last year, the world's leaders unanimously committed to eliminate extreme poverty, address climate change, and build more resilient societies. In the Agenda 2030, we have a blueprint for sustainable development. Now the real work and the real opportunities begin. The potential offered by these new Sustainable Development Goals and the binding treaty on climate change is immense.
It is a new chapter of hope for the world.
It is we, the peoples, who are embarking today on a journey towards a more sustainable and equitable future. Our journey will involve governments, the United Nations system and other international institutions, local authorities, indigenous peoples, civil society, business and the private sector, the scientific and the academic community, and all people.
Because we deserve to do more than just survive. We deserve to thrive.
This interconnectedness among humans on the planet is creating a global village where the barriers of national and international boundaries become less relevant and the world a smaller place. The road ahead may be fraught with difficulties, challenges, and struggles, but we must dare each other to be visionary, to be ambitious, to be leaders. Given the opportunity, we can raise ourselves. We must join hands with the rest of creation and speak of common sense, responsibility, solidarity, and peace. We have all the tools. We are standing in front of an opportunity to change the course of life on the planet. Let's work together to make this world better, where everybody can live with dignity and abundance. Our future starts now. When you are named a faith keeper of the Onondaga Council of Chiefs, and for me, it was 51 years ago, you are told that we are now placing in your hands all life, and it is your responsibility to look after all life. Every person, every tree, every animal, every stream, and the earth itself, unto the 7th generation. In 1972, the world started a process that is mapping our future. The United Nations Conference on the Human Environment held in Stockholm brought the industrialized and developing nations together to delineate the rights of people to a healthy and productive environment.
The environmental crisis will profoundly alter our planet.
Fossil fuels is slowly warming the globe.
Our report is founded upon the concept of sustainable development.
We all have two hands and the sentiment of the world.
Now I wonder if they will even exist.
We are plundering our children's heritage for our present unsustainable practices.
Notre maison brûle.
The key is to come out from Johannesburg with a credible commitment to action.
Now is your moment.
To save ourselves and the planet for our children.
We can fix this. We can stop this madness.
Accelerated climate change is here
I
right
will
now.
link arms with those marching for climate action.
We, baby, are going to fight. Mommy, Daddy, your president too. We will all fight.
We are experiencing a process that is linking our nations and communities much more closely together than they have ever been before. Our lives are intertwined via the food we eat, the music we listen to, the information we get, and the ideas we hold. Last year, the world's leaders unanimously committed to eliminate extreme poverty, address climate change, and build more resilient societies. In the Agenda 2030, we have a blueprint for sustainable development. Now the real work and the real opportunities begin. The potential offered by these new Sustainable Development Goals and the binding treaty on climate change is immense.
It is a new chapter of hope for the world.
It is we, the peoples, who are embarking today on a journey towards a more sustainable and equitable future. Our journey will involve governments, the United Nations system and other international institutions, local authorities, indigenous peoples, civil society, business and the private sector, the scientific and the academic community, and all people.
Because we deserve to do more than just survive. We deserve to thrive.
This interconnectedness among humans on the planet is creating a global village where the barriers of national and international boundaries become less relevant and the world a smaller place. The road ahead may be fraught with difficulties, challenges, and struggles, but we must dare each other to be visionary, to be ambitious, to be leaders. Given the opportunity, we can raise ourselves. We must join hands with the rest of creation and speak of common sense, responsibility, solidarity, and peace. We have all the tools. We are standing in front of an opportunity to change the course of life on the planet. Let's work together to make this world better, where everybody can live with dignity and abundance. Our future starts now. To leave no one behind, we must all lead.
We can be.
We must be the first generation to end extreme poverty.
The generation
most determined
to fight injustice
and inequalities.
The generation that saves the planet from climate change.
And this is how it will get done.
The global goals.
A 15-year plan
For everyone. Everywhere.
With no one left behind.
We will live in a world
where nobody
anywhere lives in extreme poverty.
Where no one
goes hungry.
Where no one
wakes in the morning
asking if there will be food today. We will live in a world where no child has to die
of diseases we know how to cure.
and where proper health care
is a lifelong right for us all.
We will live in a world
where everyone
goes to school.
and education gives us the knowledge
and skills
for a fulfilling life.
We will live in a world where all girls and all women have equal opportunities
to thrive
and be powerful
and safe.
We cannot succeed if half the world is headed back.
We will live in a world
where all people can get clean water
and proper toilets at home,
at school,
and at work.
We will live in a world where there is sustainable energy for everyone.
Heat, light,
and power for the whole planet
without destroying the planet.
We will live in a world where economies prosper.
and new wealth
lead to decent jobs,
For everyone.
and we will live in a world
where our industry,
our infrastructure and our
best innovations
Are not just used to make money, but to make all our lives better.
We will live in a world
Where prejudices and extremes of inequality
Are defeated.
inside our countries,
and between different countries.
where people live in cities and communities
that are safe, progressive,
and support everyone who lives there.
where we replace
What we consume.
Planet where we put back what we take out of the earth.
We live in a world that is decisively rolling back from
climate change,
where we restore
and protect the life in our oceans and seas.
or restore
and protect
Life on land,
The forests,
animals,
the earth itself.
with peace between and inside countries.
where all governments are open.
And answer to us for what they do at home and abroad.
and the justice rules.
with everyone equal before the law.
Where all countries and we their people,
Work together.
partnerships of all kinds,
To make these goals
a reality.
These are the United Nations global goals
For sustainable development.
Let's get to work.
Hello, Africa. Welcome to the Africa Summit for Sustainable Development 2025-6. And there is the pre-summit edition, which we are having today on the 24th of October 2025. We are preparing for the African Summit for Sustainable Development. I would want to say officially welcome everyone to this platform this moment. I know we are joining from different locations in different countries in Africa, and you are all welcome. I am Yetunde Junaid. I am the head of operation and programs in ADF Africa, and it's my pleasure to have all of you here on this call at this moment. Congratulations and welcome. Yeah, please let's appreciate each other. Let's congratulate ourselves for being on this section this moment. It is a pleasure to have you all. This is an anticipated moment, and here we are celebrating the pre-summit of the Africa Summit for Sustainable Development. You are all welcome, and I'm so glad to be here today. This is an anticipated program, and here we are today for this summit. You are welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I want you to keep the excitement going. I want to see that in your chat box. Welcome, everyone. You can welcome people in your languages. Just as you know, we have different languages in Africa, and I would love to learn more about your language also. In my country, yeah, we speak different languages too, and I'll say, Ekabo, you're welcome. That is in my local language. All right. We would like to go right to the moment, as you know, we have a lot to offer for this program today. Just as I've mentioned before, I am Yetunde Junai, and I'm the head of operation and programs in ADF Africa. I also have my wonderful team members on the call right now, and I would like to introduce to you our director of ADF Africa, Mr. Emmanuel Ola Oloweyo. Sir, you can say hello to us, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning and good day to each and every Africans joining this call. It's a great pleasure to be here this morning.
All right. Okay. Thank you, sir. And I can see a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is me again." Yes, I am. Yeah. It's nice to see you all. It's nice to meet you again. And you know, this is ADF Africa, and as you know, what we do most is do more of focus on SDG goals, and which is more of our primary dedicated focus at ADF Africa. And here we are again celebrating Africa. And here we are not just celebrating Africa, we are celebrating Africa Summit for Sustainable Development, which will be happening in 2026. But this is a pre-summit just to prepare us ahead of what is in for us for 2026. Is that not amazing? That is amazing. All right, you're welcome all. I can't see a lot of people introducing themselves. I love the chat box to be very interesting as you're joining from different countries. I would love to know you, where you're joining us from, and how's the weather in your country there? Yes, it's summer hot here in Nigeria. Yes, so I want to know how the weather is at your side too. All right, welcome everyone once again, and it's my pleasure to have you all here. Over to you, Mr. Emmanuel, for your welcome address, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Yetunde, for the warm welcome. And good day, distinguished keynote speaker, esteemed guest of honor, and each and everyone on this call, ladies and gentlemen. Good day to you all, and it's a great pleasure to welcome each and everyone to this pre-summit edition of the African Summit for Sustainable Development. I want to believe each and everyone know that our journey towards the 2030 agenda for sustainable development is much more closer, than when we began in 2015. And it's important for us as Africa, as a continent, to fast track and accelerate the SDGs. And if truly we are going to achieve that, if truly we are going to achieve the SDGs by 2030, then we must rise, must take bold action, and remain more determined like never before. Just like our moderator earlier mentioned, this pre-summit set a stage for the 2026 African Summit for Sustainable Development, which is going to be bringing together government leaders, policymakers, private sector experts, youth networks, development organizations across Africa. And today, we are here gathering on this great occasion, whereby we are here to reflect and also to be inspired towards these SDGs. And we believe that we are truly glad to have each and every leaders, each and everyone joining in from different African countries. Definitely, if we tell each and every one of us on this call, and also those who are watching on YouTube, to share the countries which they are coming from, we are very sure we are going to have about 20 African countries, participants coming from different countries. Our collective goal for this initiative is very simple, which is basically for us to drive sustainable solution and transform action that move Africa closer to realizing the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. And this summit for this year, we are looking at 4 key thematic areas, which is going to be the basis for our discourse today. And one of those key areas is education and digital innovation. And we're also looking at the aspect of health and well-being. And the third one is sustainable cities and communities, and looking at sustainable agriculture and food security. Believe me that these themes are light where we must act faster and get to collaborate more if truly want to see the real changes ahead in Africa. I want to believe that as leaders, as policymakers, as professionals across our respective country, I urge each and every one of us to take this message, which we are getting here in today's pre-summit, beyond this virtual event. We want you to take it back to your institutions, back to your organizations, back to your communities, back to your country. You know, it's time for us to let this discussion translate to global realities. I mean, actionable realities. And also, it's not a coincidence that today is also the United Nations Day globally, which is a day that reminds us of our shared responsibility to heart for the global goals and make the world a better place, livable for each and everyone. And this is a clarion call to each and every one of us to ensure that we renew our commitment to sustainable practices and to that the future we want in Africa. And before I close my opening remark, I must say a very warm and special welcome and also appreciation to our esteemed keynote speaker and our esteemed guest speakers who are going to be sharing from their wealth of knowledge and experience today on how we can get to truly unleash African potential for the future we want. And on behalf of the Advanced Initiative for Innovation and Development, Head of Africa, who is the organizer of this remarkable event, I warmly welcome you all to what promises to be transformative, an expiring and short experience. The event is going to be very short, but please, let's stay active. Let's listen with intention. You can see me, I'm having my pen, I have my notepad already. We are here to learn and also ensure that you take this opportunity to connect and collaborate with each and every other people. Together, we believe that we can shape a new story for Africa, one that is built with resilience, that is built with partnership and innovation and that collective action. Thank you all for joining, and I wish us a very fruitful and impactful event. Good morning from Nigeria once again. Thank you. Over to you here today.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. That was so informative. Thank you so much. Yes, I want you to appreciate Mr. Emmanuel. He's our director, and yes, he has been doing a lot when it comes to the SDGs. And please appreciate him. Please appreciate. All right. Thank you. So we're moving right on to the program for today, and that is the keynotes address for today, and it will be taken by Ambassador Nancy Kari Garitu. She is a special envoy of advisory Blue Economy Executive Office of the President of Kenya on Maritime and Blue Economy, Nairobi County, Kenya. Please, let's appreciate her while I read out her profile so that you can understand how powerful she is and the topic that she will be teaching us, that she will be talking about today. So today she will be talking to us about unleashing African potential for the future we want. And that is our keynote for today, and that is what she'll be talking about. So I will be reading our profile right now, but as I do that, please, I need you to appreciate her on the chat box. I want you to do that with emojis. I want you to appreciate her for being here today. It's a privilege for me to even have her here, and I know that there are more collaboration, and I know she would want to mentor someone like me. So I'll be reaching out to her even after this section. All right, so let me read out our profile. Ambassador Nancy Kari Gito is a maritime lawyer holding a bachelor degree in law and master's degree in international maritime law. Mrs. Karigo is a victory leader with over 37 years experience in maritime sector at national and international level. She served as the first substantive Director General of the Kenya Maritime Authority, KMA, a position she held for 9 years before assuming the position of Principal Secretary for Shipping and Maritime Affairs, a position she held for 8.5 years. Prior to joining the KMA, she consulted extensively for the International Maritime Organization in Sub-Saharan Africa, the Economic Commission for Africa, that is ECA, the African Union, AU, and the East Africa Community. She also served as a maritime transport expert for the African Union, advising government in the region on the setting up of independent maritime administration and strengthening maritime legal framework. Ambassador Karigitsu demonstrates Ambassador Karigitsu demonstrates transformative leadership and achievement have earned our international recognition as evident by numerous national and international accolades and award for our relentless effort in contribution to the international maritime sector. Ambassador Karigitsu currently serves as Special Envoy and Advisor for Shipping and Maritime and Executive Office of the President of Kenya. Please let's appreciate our ambassador as she's here today. She is amazing, and it's a pleasure because when I read through your profile and I can see 35 years, I started counting my own years back, you know, and it is very interesting to have you here on this call. Over to you, Ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, Ma, we can hear you loud and clear.
Greetings from Kenya and a good day to you all. And thank you for that accolade you've given me. But of course, I was blushing because I was wondering whether it was me you were talking about. And let me congratulate you and say what a pleasure it is to be part of this moment, which is the Africa Summit for Sustainable Development, Pre-Summit 2025, a space where great minds have gathered in order to ignite conversations that will shape the future of our beloved continent. The theme of today, Unleashing Africa's Potential for the Future We Want, could not be more timely because it speaks of a vision that recognizes Africa not as a continent waiting to be helped and receiving handouts, but an Africa that is ready to rise, an Africa that is ready to redefine her development, to lead with innovation, and take ownership of her future. Africa's story has always been one of resilience and hope. We are a continent of immense creativity, rich natural resources, and above all, vibrant young people. A continent that has over 60% of her population under the age of 25, the youngest continent in the world, which you will all agree is our greatest advantage. And it is you, the young people, who must transform possibility into prosperity for Africa, because Africa does not lack potential. We know, we see it. What Africa needs is imagination, courage, enterprise to build the future that we all desire and deserve. The future we deserve is where every young person has the skills and confidence to shape their destiny. A future where our education systems produce problem solvers, innovators, job creators. A future where technology bridges gaps, connects rural communities to opportunity, and ensures that no one is left behind. It is a future where women are not just empowered, but they are also entrusted with leadership, where our governance systems reflect accountability and integrity, and where sustainability becomes a way of life, protecting our environment as we build our prosperity. But building that future must begin now. We don't have a lot of time to waste. And it must begin with investing in people, with giving them the tools, equipping them with the education and the opportunities that they need in order to thrive. And this calls for embracing digital innovation, encouraging and supporting creative industries, and empowering entrepreneurs to turn ideas into impact. It means championing good governance, regional cooperation, to ensure that our progress is not limited by borders, but instead is strengthened by collaboration and partnership. And most important, it means believing in Africa, believing in ourselves and our ability to create solutions that work for us and speak to our realities. The world is watching Africa, but more importantly, Africa is watching herself. We must decide today that our narrative will be one of growth, unity, and sustainable development. Which brings me back to this pre-summit. This is more than just a conversation, because the aim of this day, this pre-summit, is to lay the grounds for the change we want to see reflected at the main summit next year. We must begin laying the foundation today. What are we going to do next year in the main summit? This provides us with an opportunity to build momentum, to strengthen collaborations, to take a moment to step back, renew our commitments to action. And the ideas generated from today's pre-summit must become the seeds of transformation tomorrow. So as we engage in this virtual space, sitting in different corners of our beloved continent and beyond, let us remember this. Connectivity is not just digital, it is also human. And we are connected together by the shared dream of an Africa that thrives, an Africa that leads, and an Africa that inspires the world towards possibility, towards prosperity, towards destiny. And that Africa, that future that we are desiring, is not a distant vision. It is within our reach. This is not a distant dream. The question will arise whether it can be done. The question is not whether it can be done. The question is whether we will choose to do it. It's whether we will dare, and I want to challenge us to dare to dream very boldly, to dream of a prosperous future, a future that is worthy of Africa and her people, and then plan how to strategically achieve it. And I want to urge us to act very decisively, because that way we will unleash Africa's potential and build a continent where prosperity, peace, and progress become the norm, not the exception. The time is now, and I want to end this with this clarion call. The time is now, the power is in our hands, and the future belongs to Africa. Let us arise and do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. That was so insightful. I hope we got that. The future is when? The future is now. And the future is now. So you need to start taking action. Thank you so much, Ma. We really appreciate you. Ambassador Nancy, we really, really appreciate you for being here today. And yes, it has been impactful. My notes are full already. All right, thank you so much, Ma. Please let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her on the comment. Let's see our emojis, because yes, she has imparted into us our knowledge today. It's really not easy to do that, and she has graced us our presence today. And yes, let's keep appreciating that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Would you like to take some questions from the audience, or ma'am?
Sorry, let's hear.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I would like to ask if there's any question from any participant here on the call right now. If you'd like to ask some questions from what she has said, maybe you need some clarity on or some enlightenment. This is the time you can ask your question. You can use the raise of hands or put your questions on the chat box. Okay, I have not seen any yet as at this moment. But if there's if there's any other questions, any other things that people want to know about, we'll be glad to reach out to you on that. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring our invitation. We are glad to have you here, and it's a privilege. It's a privilege. Well, welcome. Okay, I think that will be all for now. All right, on behalf of ADF Africa, I would say thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you, ma'am. So I'll be moving right on to the next section at the moment. So, but before I actually move on to the next section, since we don't have questions, I want us to tell me one or two things we can pick from what Ambassador Nancy have told us about. I want to see that in the chat because I want to know if you're actually paying attention. She said a lot, and she even gave us a call. So I want to know if we are actually paying attention, because this is a very interesting keynote address, and the time is now. Yes, the time is now. Africa is full of potential. Yes, that's just it. I want to see more. I want to see more. Yes, immense creativity. Yes, that's it. Africa has a lot of potential. The future begins now. Oh yeah, we are vibrant young people in Africa, and this is our time. All right, well done, everyone. That means you are actually paying vivid attention to what she has been saying. All right, thank you so much. Right now, we're moving on to the innovation showcase. To start with, I would like to also introduce to us one of our participants from ADF Africa. And some of our participants at ADF Africa from the Sustainable Energy Accelerator and the Recycle Up Nigeria program, and they will be showcasing their innovation here at this moment. I would like to introduce to all first Mr. Dennis Yako from Ghana. Please confirm that you are on this call. You can just say hi. Hello, Mr. Dennis. Yako, Mr. Dennis. I can see you on the call, so you can unmute your mic and speak now. Oh, okay, you can't unmute right now. Okay, good. All right, sorry for that.
Yeah, hello, hi.
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 You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Yetunde. Do you want me to already start presenting, or did you just wanted me to say hi and then?
Oh, I wanted you to say hi to confirm that you are the one I actually saw on the call.
Yes.
You know, we have a lot of people that has the name of Dennis. So yes, this is the time you can showcase your innovation. Are you ready?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to take a minute to prepare my video and present my slide, if that's okay.
Okay, that is fine. Please make that snappy. All right. As we wait for Mr. Dennis to showcase his okay. Okay, I think he has his video up now. All right, you have the floor in 15 minutes. In just 10 minutes, sorry.
Sure, now I'm trying to find my camera if Hi.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can now see your handsome face, Mr. Dennis.
Try to wipe my camera. There we go. Okay. All right. So sorry about my lightning today. I just relocated to a remote area right now. So hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Unfortunately, I've missed the earlier part of the session, but I'm happy to present to you my startup, which is called Agrio. So with Agrio, the problem that we are looking at solving at Agrio is we're looking to, in Ghana, there's smallholder farmers, just like anywhere in Africa, make up over 70% of the agricultural workforce. And in 2024, agriculture alone contributed over 22% to Ghana's GDP, and this was from Ghana Statistics Services. With this in mind, despite agriculture's contribution to Ghana's economy, there is very little attention that exists when it comes to irrigation for smallholder farmers. Only about 13% of cultivated farmland in Ghana is irrigated, and this reduces farmers' yield because they have to rely on rain-fed agriculture, which is not always sustainable. Up until recently, farmers have only had to rely on, or have only had diesel pumps as one of their most effective solutions. There's also electric solutions, but those are usually very expensive and they're only available on a commercial basis. So solar pumps cannot continue anymore to be the solution for farmers because it is unsustainable to the environment. It is unreliable and very expensive to maintain, and also very technical to maintain. And it is also very unscalable because you need a full station to operate them, which might not always be available in rural areas. So I just sort of took my time with the problem statement because I think it's very important that you understand the problem that we are trying to solve and the way that we look at it. I don't have enough time, so I'll just try and be quick with the rest. So the solution that we are providing is simply a solar irrigation pump services. We do this in together with a conservation agriculture service that we are implementing with partners such as Foundations for Farming. And how it basically works is that smallholder farmers request for irrigation pumps via phone call. The payment is made via mobile money, and then we have a token system that allows us to send token numbers to farmers via SMS, and then they can input that into our token keypad, and then they unlock the pump for that period of time. So this makes it accessible. This makes it also secure for us on our end, despite where the pump is. The controller gives us that autonomy. So with our project, the expected impact and how we plan to track it is we think that our project satisfy at least. We can look at it from the economic, social, and environmental point of view, and I'll just take you quickly through some of these. So I think by just listening to it, you've probably already pieced together a few of these expected income, but we are just basically looking to increase the adoption and the replacement of diesel pumps in rural communities as they are very unsustainable and as I said, expensive to maintain. And we're also looking to increase farmers' capacity primarily from growing once, typically a year, to up to 4 times a year with reliable irrigation access. By doing this, we'll be contributing to the national food security and also reducing dependency on national grid. How we plan to track our KPIs or these impacts that I've just discussed, we would look at farmer membership, the number of farmers that are adopting our solar pumps. We also look at the number of farmers that are receiving and practicing our conservation agriculture training. We're looking at the sales of pumps. We're looking at the number of returning customers, and we're also implementing a CAP research to collect quarterly mid and baseline information so that we can assess attitude of solar pump adoption. I don't know if me seeing Yetunde is a sign that my time is up, but I would try my best. I think I have just a few more slides. So for our SWOT analysis, just to give you an idea, if you're thinking about doing something like this, these are some of the strengths and weaknesses that we see in our business. For us, some of the key strengths for us is our team, also our innovation and our tech embedded controller system. We also have incredible partnerships, technical and strategic partnerships, also funders that we work with. And then for some of the opportunities, because we're very aligned with the SDGs, we see a lot of opportunities coming from there. Also, a lot of attention from the government, food and energy agenda. We also see a large market for rain-fed agriculture in developing countries because this is not just a problem that is in Ghana. We also see a huge movement from fuel alternatives to solar, so that gives us leverage. And for just to wrap up some weaknesses, we are a very young brand. We've only been 1 year in operation, so we would say we have very little brand recognition. So that's why we're happy to do this, and hopefully some of you guys get to know about us and what we're doing, and you can think about doing something similar. We also have noticed that solar pumps are not very popular in rural areas, so we would need a lot of education, demos, and support training programs. And we also are looking to reduce our dependencies on, because we source the pump from a third party. If let's say they were to go out of business or something were to happen to them, that would be a big threat for us, and might impact our logistics. So I would just quickly take you through some of our traction. We've acquired 3 pumps to date, where we got sponsorship from Delta Energy. We've partnered with a major agribusiness firm to pilot 2 irrigation projects in Volta regions, and we're working with technical partners like Velvet Energies, their solar installation company in Ghana. And we've been part of over 10 programs, won some awards from the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Delta 40, and NL Foundation, and also Octopus Energy are some of our incredible partners. Just to take you quickly through our competitor analysis, for us, what really stands us apart is that we're not really looking to be a solar pump sales company. We're really looking to work and understand solar pumps, infrastructure, financing, and impact in rural communities, which is why when we would usually present, we get questions like, why don't you just sell off the pumps? Wouldn't that be beneficial long term? And we say that the rental gives us that continuous connection with the farmers, whereas if we just sold it off, then we kind of lose that connection long term. So that rental gives us that connection with the farmers, and also we're able to track the conservation agriculture training that we're doing with them. So we're not just looking to be a pump company, and also our controller makes us very different because you don't see that in other technologies. I did unfortunately not able to show you the blue thing is the controller. When I got to this slide, I should have mentioned that. So basically, these are the 3 core hardwares that we work with. So yeah, this is the team that makes the magic work. There's myself, who is the CEO, and there's Aisha, who is our CFO. Winnie is our climate and energy transitions manager, currently doing her master's in Sciences Po in energy transitions. And Godwin works a lot. He has over 5 years of experience building robotic programs, so he's with us as part of our technical lead. So yeah, I think I'll just wrap this. This will be it for me. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I took some.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dennis, for showcasing your innovation to us. This is a big one. And yes, the reason why we're showcasing Mr. Dennis and his innovation is because we want you to see that a lot of youth are doing enormously well when it comes to innovation and sustainability in Africa. And yes, he's open to collaboration, to investors, and also to more input to do more in his innovation. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dennis. You can drop your information or contact on the chat box so that people who want to invest, who want to collaborate, can easily reach out to you and contact you. All right, thank you so much, and thank you everyone for appreciating Easy Innovation. Okay, we'll be moving right to the next section, which is the expert section. We'll be having some fantastic people who would be giving us some insight on some beautiful topic within just 15 minutes. And the first person I'll be introducing here is Dr. MKO Balogun. He's the GMD and CEO of Global Property and Facility International Limited in Lagos, Nigeria. Please let's appreciate him while I read out his profile. Dr. MKO Balogun is the GMD of GPFI Group, a multi-award-winning Pan-African real estate services company. He's an adjunct lecturer for the Masters in Facilities Management program at the University of Lagos since 2009, as well as a Pro FM credential accredited instructor. He's also a certified facilitator of training, an edge expert, a certified facility manager, a fellow of Nigeria Society of Engineers, a fellow of Nigerian Institute of Facility Engineering and Management, a fellow of International Associate of Research Scholar, an administrator, among others. He is also the founder and CEO of DMB Group. Please let's appreciate Dr. MKO Abiola. MKO Balogun, sorry. Let's appreciate Dr. MKO Balogun.
Good to see you. Good to be here.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations to the team for this very good session we're having today. It also falls within a very interesting month in the Smart City Celebration Month globally, which will be celebrated on the 31st of October. It's my pleasure to join you. I'm going to share my slide and take you to a couple of ideas that I want to share with you this morning. If you can see my slide, let me know.
It's coming up, sir. Yes, we can see it now, sir.
Good. I want to talk to you about things that we need to do differently when it comes to delivering a sustainable and prosperous urban future for Africa, using advanced cities and development as tools to achieve that. Today, I want to ensure that the greatest opportunity of our generation, the future of our cities, we stand at a pivotal moment where we can choose to build cities that consume and divide, or we can choose to build cities that renew, sustain, and empower. What's the urban paradox? Are cities centers of growth or epicenters of pressure? By 2050, 68% of the world's population will live in urban areas, with Africa experiencing the fastest rate of urbanization, which means Africa has a unique opportunity, not a challenge, to use our cities to transform our lives for the betterment of the future generations that are coming. Cities generated over means that cities are the hub of economic activity and development. They also account for over 70% of global carbon emissions and resource consumption. It's a dual challenge, but also an opportunity that we can convert today global concepts on how we can mitigate carbon emissions, as well as global concepts on circularity and resource consumption management to enhance the livability of cities and enhance the future development that we focus on. Our cities are magnets of talent and capital, the very engine of economic growth. But this growth has come at a cost. The traditional model of urban development is straining our environment, our infrastructure, and our social fabric. This is the urban paradox we must solve. We want to thrive, we want to grow, we want to expand, we want to bring more people into the urban centers, but we have not paid attention to how do we ensure livability with those pressure. If you in Lagos, for instance, they study that over 1,000 people move into Lagos every day. Lagos is, for those of you who are not familiar, I'm sure you're familiar, maybe you are familiar with the numbers. Lagos is subsea. Lagos is a coastal city with less land mass than required, with over 30 million population. But there's demand, constant demand for, for people to come to migrate because the economic activities of the country. Lagos is also rated as the 5th largest economy and the single largest economy city in Africa. I mean, there's a demand for people to come and do business and to come to Africa and to come to Lagos. So there's demand, pressure on the social infrastructure and the social fabric of the city. So it's important to balance what we want to achieve versus what is available and how we want to transform. From jungle to living ecosystems. If you look at our cities, you find, and I'm sure a lot of you will see a lot of pictures online of where, the way we live, especially in this part of the world, and not just even in this part of the world, globally. Other cities are even worse than Africa. The concept of, and the new vision that we should promote, and I'm putting forward to you this morning, is transforming our cities, our perspective. A city should not be a machine that consumes resources, but a living ecosystem that generates opportunity and regenerates the environment. So we are talking about 80% contribution to GDP by cities, and we've also talked about the fact that the cities consume resources, whereas what we should focus on is as we're creating economic prosperity, we're also regenerating the environment, transforming urban spaces into engines of sustainability and opportunity. That's the vision of cities that we should have, that we should promote. A city that make waste to renew, create, and sustain. That is the city model we need to create. The solutions require a fundamental shift in our thinking. It requires a new vision, a vision where urban spaces are not just spaces to live and work, but are active engines driving both environmental sustainability and economic opportunities for all. There are 3 major components that I'm promoting with the new city vision. The foundation. Foundation comprises of the intelligent and sustainable infrastructure. We cannot build cities, and a couple of cities in Africa are already adopting. Kigali, Rwanda is currently developing innovation city as well as great city. So that's focusing on the foundation. We have to create cities that are ready to attract development, not the other way around. What we've been doing in the past, and even at some extent currently in major cities of the world, including Africa, is that we build the cities, then we now start looking for how to make it work. But the idea is to lay the foundation for a prosperous city, inclusive economic opportunity. We have to design cities in such a way that everybody who's coming to the city, there is opportunity for them in every sector of the economy. And that enables the city to thrive. Resilient and people-centric communities. You'll have seen in the last couple of days by Urban UN Habitat promoting cities of the future, people-centric cities. And that is the concept. We have to build cities that connect people. We have to build cities that take into consideration the requirements and the opportunities that individuals and communities within the cities we benefit from, and work with them to create a city that works, and that's the heart of the city. The vision is just not an abstract idea. It can be built on a practical and robust framework on 3 core pillars. Let's explore each of them. The first, we talk about intelligent and sustainable infrastructure. How do we ensure that the fabric of the city is intelligent and also sustainable? How do we ensure that we have buildings that focus on net zero in terms of construction, operation, and maintenance? How we think about smart grids from power to everything in between. How do we talk about circular economy, ensuring that what we consume are things that we can regenerate, find ways to ensure that we turn waste to energy, other waste to other uses or resources that we can use. That today people are using. I was sitting with a gentleman in my office yesterday, where he's using plastic, adding plastic to interlocking stones. In Nigeria, there are guys who are using rubber from tire to do interlocking stones. So let's look at sustainable material use for construction of buildings. That's the circularity that we need to play, and that's the way to ensure that we're not consuming more than the economy, more than the environment can withstand. Integrated mobility. One of the challenges we have in our modern cities across Africa is traffic. Everywhere you go, you spend endless hours trying to move from one point to the other. But there are cities in the world who have, developed, modernized, and implemented integrated mobility to ensure that people can move around easily. People can integrate their business, their life without, having to, to live their life on the edge because they don't know when they're going to go to the next one. The second is inclusive economic opportunity, ensuring that we develop green jobs. If we create green economy, create green buildings, sustainable buildings, definitely there will be opportunities in the green job area, sustainable development, solar tech. Today, we'll be talking about job issues in Africa, high unemployment rate, but there are opportunities in green jobs that we need to pay attention to. But if more of the major challenges that people need to be trained in those areas, and I know a lot of governments in Africa, even the World Bank is focused on supporting governments to see how they can develop people technical skills in those areas. Technicians, energy auditors, urban planners, urban farmers to do that. Innovation hubs. This is one of the areas that Africa has progressed very well. Kenya, Nairobi, Lagos, Nigeria, Kigali, Rwanda, and other cities in Africa have created major innovation hubs. This is an area that also can create inclusive economic opportunity for the people. Local sourcing is an area that Africa, we have the mentality of we want to do what is being done abroad. There is a Ghanaian architect, one of the world-renowned urban architects in the world, and one of these concepts of development is to first understand. He will move to the city where he wants to build and spend a couple of weeks to understand what materials, what's their culture, where can we find still local materials that we can use to do the construction we want to do. And that's part of the concept that we want to promote to ensure local sourcing of materials for construction. We enhance economic activity because everybody can become, a friend of mine from Gambia did a construction development in Nigeria in River State. And 70% of the materials and the workers were from, the local community where I was doing the project. They didn't need to bring anybody from outside the state, from outside the zone. These are part of this that creates economic prosperity and opportunity. Future-ready skills, as I mentioned, we need to develop, we need to invest in training to ensure that people are ready for the skills of the future. People-centric communities is important. Digital inclusion, health and well-being. Today we focus more about just the building. There's always been conversation about affordable housing without talking about affordable living. Affordable living taking into consideration everything about the well-being and the prosperity of the people. And so it's important to pay attention. Safety and security is very important. People should be able to live well in the communities where they are. Civil engagement is, civic engagement is very important. Community engagement, regular engagement with people to understand what are the areas of concern, what are the areas of focus. To reinforce the pillars, this is not a checklist, but this is a call for action. This is where the magic happens. These pillars are not independent silos. They create a virtuous cycle. Smart infrastructure creates economic opportunity, and thriving communities drive further innovation. This is how city becomes a true engine of progress. To everybody on the call, if you're a policymaker, you're an innovator, an investor, you're a citizen, let us all join hands to ensure we create a vision that is ambitious, but is achievable. It requires collaboration. It requires each of us in this room to play our part. The question is not whether we can do it, but whether we have what we will need to do it. The future is not built, it is grown. Let's plant the seeds today for the prosperous, sustainable, and opportunity-rich cities of tomorrow. Thank you. Let's begin the work of growing our future. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. MKO Balogun. That was very, very insightful. So you've heard that you need to build that engine that we import from other countries. We need to start doing that ourselves. We need to start doing things locally, investing in innovation of things that is going to assist us to do more in our community, while we source for local materials in the community to ensure that our community is growing. Thank you so much, Dr. MKO Balogun. It's a pleasure to have you on this call, and we really appreciate you for acknowledging our invite and being here today. We really appreciate you, sir. On behalf of Africa, I will say thank you. Thank you so much, sir. That was very powerful. I would like to move on with the program for today on the expert section. And we'll be moving on to Dr. Maurice Atoki, who will be talking to us more on health and well-being on the topic building healthier Africa through resilient system and inclusive care. She is the CEO of African Business Coalition, and I would like to read out her profile right now so that we can know better. Okay, Dr. Maurice Atoki. Honorable Dr. Maurice Atoki is the Chief Executive Officer for the African Business Coalition for Health, ABC Health, a non-for-profit social enterprise coalition of African business leaders, working with other critical stakeholders to support the government of African countries to improve the continent's health sector. She served as a facilitator for the Health Policy Commission, HPC, at the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, NESG. And she is an alumnus of the Harvard Business School, London Business School, and Yale University. Please welcome with me, with a round of applause, with emojis, with beautiful flowers, as we welcome on this call right now, Dr. Maurice.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Ma.
Thank you again this year for having me. I know that I've been on in a couple of your sessions in previous years, so I really appreciate that I'm here once again in this year to share with you some updates on the health front. And thank you for putting health out there too. So one of the things we push for is that as much as possible, health conversations are the front burner. So I'm really excited that we have health also in this conversation. I sent my slides over, but if you'd like for me to share also here, yes, let me see.
You can share, Ma.
Okay, once you see my slides, please let me know. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can see it now. It's down again.
Yes, sorry, that was me.
Okay.
Give me a minute. Okay, just before we get into the topic, the topic is building a healthier Africa through the resilient systems and inclusive care. I thought it would be good to kind of recap on some of the conversations we had last year about the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goal 3, healthcare and well-being, and also where we are, generally as a nation in Nigeria, in some of these targets that accompany the goals. It's always a good thing to consider. And I kind of recall that we talked to just having a good sense of interpreting those goals and understanding how to align with them in our journey in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals as far as health is concerned. Can you see my slides now?
Yes, Mom, you can see it.
Okay, so I'm just going to try to go to. So today, again, we're going to talk about building a healthier Africa through resilient systems and inclusive care. One thing that has made a lot of difference in the way we do health, of course, was the emergence of COVID-19. So across today's conversation, we'll look at our opening and we go to contextualizing Africa's health challenges and where the opportunities are. We go a bit into Africa's health landscape and the pillars of health system resilience. We talk to building inclusivity in care delivery. We talk to partnership models for health systems transformation. We talk to policy and institutional imperatives. And of course, very importantly, the economic case for health investments in Africa. More modern cases of innovation, research, and knowledge translation. We talk to youth, gender, and equity leadership, measuring impact and accountability, strategic communications and advocacy, implementation, governance and coordination, and of course, call to action, commitment before our closing charge. In opening, I thought it was important for us to remind ourselves that we are at a critical juncture as far as Africa's health systems are concerned. And when we say critical juncture, we're talking about some of the exposures that the pandemic has made us to fully understand. So generally, I mean, if we don't recall anything, we'll recall. It's more of a global village now. And it seems that international donations that used to come very much into Africa kind of have taken a bit of, a caution. COVID-19 highlighted infrastructure gaps, weak supply chains, and limited health workforce. Of course, post-pandemic recovery has accelerated innovation in digital health, in local manufacturing, and of course, cooperation. And these efforts altogether align with good health and well-being according to Sustainable Development Goal 3, driving progress through resilient and sustainable healthcare systems across Africa. Do you still have my screen on? Yes, okay. So I'm gonna just, right. As we contextualize Africa's health challenges and opportunities, it's good to look at where we are at a continent with a global landscape or global lens and what that compares to our regional realities as a continent. So if we look at the indicator of global disease burden, our status is 25% as a continent. If we look at global health workforce, our status is 3%. If we look at our spend in terms of expenditure, we are ranking below 2%. If we look at our out-of-pocket spending, estimated at 36%, and this is versus 18% of a global average. If we look at the Universal Health Coverage Index, we're ranking lower than 50% in most countries. And if we look at access to essential services, where also less than 50% of population lacking access. What then do we refer to as resilience? So when we say we are building health systems that are resilient and that are inclusive, it is the hope to build health systems and the anticipation to build systems of health that have the capacity to absorb shocks, to adapt, and to transform itself in the middle of crisis. So again, if we consider what happened during COVID-19, how do we interpret the outcome, for most African countries? On the other hand, is inclusivity, ensuring equitable access and leaving no one behind, especially the vulnerable. So we talk about women, we talk about children, we talk about youth, and rural as well as marginalized groups. What then is our landscape? So in the context of our performance indicators in our health systems, in terms of our systemic barriers and where the opportunities are. For our performance indicators, the Universal Health Coverage Index remains below 50% in most of our countries. Our out-of-pocket expenditure averages 36% of total health spending, that is versus the 18% of the global average. And our inequities in access persist. So rural population 2 times less likely to access skilled birth attendants and primary health care. In terms of systemic barriers, we have a fragmented governance and coordination among ministries of health, among partnerships, among private sectors or private actors, and so on and so forth. We also see weak health financing and dependency still on external aid. So in other words, the shock is still, the gap that the shock of COVID-19 has played on Africa is actually still pending. We were not ready for it, and we still have not been able to mop up that gap. Similar to that is the announcement of, the new president, not new anymore, President Trump, on some of the new agendas behind external aid. Another systemic barrier is the shortage in our workforce. So we've all been hearing JAPA. It's not gone better. It's also the fact that political nuances have not been able to impact the supply chain in a positive way. So logistics and digital infrastructure are still also not at their optimal level. And the last one there are the opportunities emerging. So again, when we look at all of these sad situations, the gaps, the barriers, let's look at where opportunities are. It's about our demographic dividend. We have a youthful population, a huge youthful population. We have the highest youthful population in the entire world. And as such, potential health workforce and innovators. There's also the emergence of digital health transformation. So AI, telemedicine, health informatics, data analytics, and so on and so forth. They are evolving stage and promising tools to be able to support our growth as far as health is concerned. And another thing that, that sort of caught the world's attention is a growing private sector participation and diaspora engagement in health outcomes. What then are the pillars of health? Resilience, rather. So when we look at the pillars, and according to the WHO Universal Health Coverage details, there are institutional accountability, multi-sectoral coordination, and national ownership. We also look into investing in training, retaining those who have trained, and fair distribution of healthcare professionals, leveraging digital tools for continuous learning and performance monitoring, of course, also ensuring that the right level of investment is in our research and development arm. There's also the developing of blended financing models, public, private, donor, and expanding domestic resource mobilization through health taxes and innovative insurance schemes. That is at a pivotal stage as far as Africa as a continent is concerned. And just really ensuring that we get it right. We're not copying the European nations or very advanced environments, but we're leveraging some of the success stories to be able to integrate into our evolving ecosystem in Africa. Let's also talk to the pillar of building interoperable national health information systems. An example, so we know that in Nigeria, there's the Helium Health, EMR adoption across West Africa. For Lagos State, there's the SHIP project and so on and so forth. And lastly is on AMA, what African Medicine Agency is currently doing, strengthening pharmaceutical and medical commodity production capacity. Here, there's a lot of technology transfer and regulatory harmonization that needs to happen in order for the trade through the AFCFTA borders or guidelines needing to happen. Of course, we have the mobilizing community health workers as the backbone of primary healthcare, incorporating traditional, cultural, and faith-based systems into health delivery. What then does building inclusivity in our care delivery system mean, and what should we be expecting? So when we talk about inclusivity, which by the way is more modern than some of these other terms or concepts that we have, it's about ensuring that gender responsiveness is integrated and disability inclusiveness is included in our health policies. It's also about expanding primary healthcare coverage to rural and peri-urban areas. And these are not just words, they are the areas where research has been made to understand that that is where the biggest impact is expected to come from. So when we say that leave no one behind or ensure that there's also inclusivity as far as and including the vulnerable, women, children, the rural, the peri-urban areas, is to show that the reason Africa is lagging behind the most is not because majority, I mean, the you and I that have access to some of these systems and opportunities are able to access good health or quality health. It's because the majority, the vulnerable, in a large percentage, are the ones who have who don't enjoy the access that we have. And so, again, when we talk about inclusivity, we're talking about leveraging mobile health clinics more in Africa. We're talking about digital literacy that has become more and more pertinent. So beyond just wanting to have a phone or use a phone or transfer money, it's also become more and more notable that some of this health access that we're talking about may only be achievable in the reality of Africa through actual digital literacy. So when we talk about the rural areas, indeed, tomorrow or in another 1 year, there might not be real good roads to get to them, but we do have digital means to be able to access them as far as diagnosing them sometimes, as far as consulting for their health, just even telling them what to do more of and less of in health. So those are things that sometimes digital literacy can achieve without necessarily going through the hurdles of some of this actual digital, non-digital infrastructure. So let's also look at social and economic determinants of health. That's another large scope. Talk about education, talk about nutrition, talk about access to clean water and sanitation. Some of these are already embedded in other goals, other sustainable development goals. And of course, the necessity to be intentional about cross-sectoral partnerships, multidimensional partnerships. More and more, the health community is expanding. And so for instance, you know that a lot of technology experts are are getting into the net of the health community, of health, expertise. And so being deliberate in terms of our viewpoint, in terms of our engagement and also policies on these cross-sectoral partnerships is critical in advancing and building inclusivity. And lastly, there is investment. It's private sector as an enabler. And so when we say private sector, it's a combination of private health sector and private non-medic sector. And what that means is that it is critical to recognize that private non-medic sector are key stakeholders in advancing and improving health outcomes. If they are not experts in disseminating healthcare, they are experts in what has succeeded before in all of the methodologies and approaches to determine improved health outcomes. So we talk about corporate social investments and responsibilities, for instance, in companies, as it aligns with national health priorities. We must continue to encourage corporates to ensure that health, so besides education, which seems, easy, almost easy for them to access and to deal with, health is also critical as a topic and as an area where they must invest in. What are the partnership models for health systems transformation? And I'm sure you've heard PPPs before, but why PPPs? You've heard about diaspora engagement and regional collaboration, but let's even talk more about these areas. Public-private partnership is essential, especially for Africa, because it is the one mechanism that optimizes the power of government and the responsibility, the primary responsibility of government in health, combined with the success and the result-orientedness of private sector to blend and to be able to support health. So when we talk about joint financing, shared infrastructure, technology transfer, and so on and so forth, is to be able to visualize an Africa where government is open enough to appreciate and leverage the strengths of private sector to ensure that its own mandate on public health is fully carried out. We've also heard about diaspora engagement. What do we mean? There are a lot of experts. So we hear, for instance, and we celebrate when we hear that, an African individual is doing so well, especially our doctors. What are we doing with that as a continent? We must leverage diaspora expertise. We must unlearn some things. And I tell you some areas where we've discovered. So we have rules and policies in Nigeria that prohibit doctors and medical practitioners from advertising. What that does is also that when experts from diaspora come with their expertise and their technology and some of the successes that have been recorded globally in different parts of the world, when they come eventually to our countries, to their homes, they are unable to let the populace know about this expertise, just because there are rules that say that medical practitioners are prohibited from advertising. Some of this need to change because of the realities of the continent. And the last is regional collaboration. So the role of Africa CDC and regional economic communities in harmonization and strengthening cross-border disease surveillance and emergency response has to be tightened. Are we already doing it? Yes, but are we doing it sufficiently? Maybe not. Maybe not. If it doesn't, anchor on trade or commerce, sometimes it's not as prioritized as it should be. So we see the vaccine trend, really going across the continent because there are critical stakeholders attached to it as far as trade is concerned. But when we're talking about primary healthcare, which seems, like the primary responsibility of individual countries, what is the role of the regional bodies? What is the role of Africa CDC in ensuring that these countries actually carry out their responsibility? These are unanswered questions, because sometimes it has to do with sovereignty. It has to do with more critical political nuances than health has ever come across. And that might actually be an African theme. When we look at the policy and institutional imperatives, we're looking importantly at aligning with continental and global frameworks. And what does this mean? Now, largely, our national priorities must be harmonized at country level with the African Union Agenda 2063 and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 3 in good health and well-being. But what that does for us is to help us to be able to, with one eye view, see where the correlations are. So when we're saying we're measuring development as far as health is concerned in Africa, is to be able to marry national priorities with regional agenda and global goals, and as well the universal health coverage to be able to ensure that we're coherent and we're sharing accountability. What this alignment does is it enables also clarity. So when we're saying Africa is lagging behind, where are the numbers? Where are the figures? What is responsible? What yardstick are we using? Those are the reasons why this alignment needs to occur. And because it also helps in terms of resource optimization. Yeah. Sometimes it's also calls for where regional bodies or global powers are able to understand what to support and where and why. What is the ultimate risk? We talked about us now experiencing a global village and so on and so forth. Yeah. Let's talk about institutionalizing accountability and monitoring systems. It is imperative that we build transparent monitoring and evaluation mechanisms. It is imperative that Africa on its own, without the pressures of the global south or the global north, institutionalize accountability in its initiatives. Because it's only when accountability thrives in us that we're attractive to either evolving or existing mechanisms that are out there to support. So whether or not we're a global village, whether or not eventually when something strikes in Africa, it has a tendency to impact negatively on other countries in the rest of the world, Africa must ensure that it institutionalizes transparency and accountability in implementing initiatives already at its core. We're also looking at adaptive and evidence-based governance. We've spoken to transparency. Policymaking must evolve with emerging realities. We're not doing that at the pace at which realities are emerging. Technology is moving at a jet speed. Our policies are not moving. So, what I hear most of the time is that, oh yeah, we have all of the policies. No, we don't. We don't have policies yet on robotics. We don't have policies yet on artificial intelligence and its dynamism. We don't have policies on data analytics. And so in most part of the countries. And the earlier these policies are not just implemented, the earlier they integrate into our realities, the more progress we make in terms of closing, some of these gaps that really exists within our health systems. And of course, incentivizing local research and homegrown solutions. I mentioned this earlier. R&D is the one way to ensure that Africa by itself advances in its homegrown solutions. So when we say local research and homegrown solutions, it's not, only bringing in some of the advanced things we've learned in more advanced environments. It is paying attention to the things that we ourselves have discovered. And some of these things are locked up in the villages. Some of them have gone to the graves with our ancestors and our great grandparents because we are not consciously carrying them and using them and recording them as what do you call this? Things that are precious to us. Some of them, just jettisons away because we're not conscious of them. We're so married to Western civilization that we forget that we must pay attention to homegrown solutions as a continent.
All
What
right.
then is the economic?
So sorry, Madam Honorable Dr. Maurice. Would like to summarize the remaining slides so that we can jump on to the next section for today, Ma. Thank you so much.
Yes, please. And I apologize. I know that I've spent some time. What is the economic case? The economic case really just means that we need to pay attention to what is driving health in the on a larger scope. And it is that it is also an economic case. The business of health. What does it mean to talk about the health experts, talk about the medical doctors, talk about health even as a public responsibility? There is return on investments being looked out for beyond healthcare itself. There are local value chains in pharmaceutical, diagnostics, and logistics that needs to be accounted for, and so on and so forth. We talked about our innovation, research, and knowledge translation earlier. I don't want to talk too much about that. Of course, we need to pay attention to our youths as health innovators. It's a big area that has the potential to transform Africa. The transformation is not going to come from what's been done, the way we've been doing things in the past. It's going to come from technology. And so it's important that we pay attention to it. Of course, gender transformative leadership and social accountability mechanisms. We must, I said earlier, measure impact and accountability. As Africa, want to attract and of course to sustain. We must be strategic in our communications and advocacy, and we must implement governance and coordination in all our approaches. I'm trying to go to the end, and in closing, is to say that resilient systems and inclusive care must be African-led. The major message to all of us is to think local with a global lens. It's critical. Our survival perhaps depends on it. The collective will of government, private sector, civil society, and the diaspora will determine how Africa transforms its health systems for generations to come. I thank you and I apologize for spending too much time.
No,
And
no
that's it.
problem. Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Maurice. That was so insightful. And yes, I have learned a lot from today's section. That was very, very impactful. Thank you so much. On behalf of ADF for Africa, we say thank you and thank you for honoring our invitation. We really appreciate you. Your presence has actually put an honor to this section today. Yes, thank you so much. Please let's appreciate Honorable Dr. Maurice, as we can discharge her now if she wants to leave, but if you want to stay on the call, you're welcome, so that we didn't take too much of your time, ma'am. All right, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. These all done. Okay, we would like to move on to the next section. Okay, we'll be having Mr. Michael right now, and I would like to just read his profile. I would like to make sure it is short because yes, he has a full profile here, and yes, I know we would have seen that on the social media. So let me just do a little introduction of Dr. Michael Kimwele. Dr. Michael Kimwele is a distinguished academic and IT security expert with over 2 decades of experience in teaching, research, and leadership. Currently serving as senior lecturer at the School of Computing and Information Technology, SCIT, at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, JKUAT. Dr. Kimwele has significantly contributed to advancing knowledge and innovation in information technology, focusing on IT security, mobile health, and sustainable technology. Dr. Kimwele has spearheaded projects such as climate smart potato production to enhance food security in Kenya, and development of ICT-driven solutions to bridge gaps in research and industry collaboration. He has presented at high-profile seminars and workshops on topics like digital trust and emerging technology. Please let's welcome Dr. Michael Kimwele. Let's appreciate him. Let's celebrate him with beautiful emojis as he jump on the section in the next 15 minutes. Thank you. You're welcome, Dr. Michael.
So thank you very much. I hope you can see my screen and I'm audible enough.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear and your screen is active.
So thank you for this moment. I'll just go ahead and share a few thoughts about how we can empower Africans and drive transformation through education and technology. Based on the introduction which has been given, I think I happen to have been in education teaching for the last more than 2 decades. And also my specialization is in technology. So as it was mentioned by the keynote speaker, about 6% of population is under 25 years. But in terms of education, we seem to be noticing unemployment, some skills mismatch, and also limited digital infrastructure, which happens to be a key challenge towards achieving our goals. So we have these Agenda 2030 and also 2063, which emphasizes on inclusivity and also innovation-driven growth. So now the question which we should ask ourselves going forward, how do we turn whatever we have, because we can only move from where we are outwards. And from experience, I'm of the view that local problems require local solutions. Because some of the problems seem to be experiencing as a country, it is only us who can be able to solve them. So to be able to make progress, we need to redefine or do some paradigm shifts in terms of how we do things. We have all been used to what we consider to be rote learning, where we memorize things, we replicate whatever you have been taught in an exam, and then every now and then we go celebrating, we have some good grades and so on. But if we are to spur development and also innovation, we should now move towards problem solving and creativity. And then, like our country took some shift from just acquiring degrees to what we are calling competency-based learning. And we are waiting for the first cohort to join universities in the next few years, and we'll see what that will translate into. Then we should also work together from not doing this in isolation. In fact, I'm very happy. Last year, I happened to have to teach a unit with a professor from Nigeria, and we could see even in terms of course design, experiences, the kind of assessments we gave to the students, they were rich in themselves. So the education which you offer should prepare learners not for jobs, but all this has been talked about all along, to be job creators But most importantly, they should prepare them for innovation and impact. Like I constantly tell my students, we are in this planet for a reason and mostly to make a difference, and we are writing history. So after your time on the planet, when people take stock, what will you be remembered for? What is that one thing which you did in a way, or what exactly did you do differently? We can be able to integrate technology into education through AI, which some of the other speakers talked about. In fact, sometimes when the people come to me for some advice, I always ask them, what exactly are you looking at? Are you looking at a piece of paper in terms of a degree certificate, or do you want the skill? And for those who say they want the skill, I always tell them there's a lot of content there. In fact, long gone are the days when the professor, the lecturer, the teacher was the source of knowledge. Knowledge is out there. So the honors of the person to try to acquire knowledge, to decide what to read. But there is a lot which people can be able to read, to redefine themselves, to even what sometimes people consider to be relearning. There are also e-learning platforms which have democratized access to knowledge. And this has been able to bridge the rural-urban divide, and it has fostered long life learning, where you are not constrained by age, time. You can learn at your own time, at your own pace, and you will be able to acquire the right skills, or you even venture to environments which you were initially not trained on. Technology can be used as an accelerator to shape Africa's transformation, like AI, which most of the other speakers have talked about, to be able to give us predictive insights. It can help you to learn, but even if your work is teaching, it will also help you not to follow the definitive path of you do, for example, lesson 1, 2, up to 10. So you can even tailor assessments to be able to reach out to different people, and even the kind of content you give. There are people who learn differently, who would want the kind of examples and case studies you give them to be tailored to their environments and so on. Then other technology like blockchain, they can enhance trust and transparency in verifying our credentials. We also have Internet of Things. These can help us deal with some of the issues we have been dealing with, like smart agriculture by use of sensors to monitor moisture, humidity, and so on. In fact, tomorrow and on Sunday, I'll be training some people from Ethiopia who work for the Ministry of Lands, to be able to see how they can use some of these technologies to deal with some of the issues they have in their country. Then digital platforms can help us do remote collaboration and open innovation. When you do collaboration, nobody has monopoly of knowledge. So when you do collaboration, in fact, what is normally encouraged is being able to bring people from different disciplines, whether it's health, agriculture, information technology itself, and also from different institutions, multi-institutions, so that we ride on our strength to be able to solve the problems collectively. So technology, if it is properly used, it can be a great equalizer. So these are the empowerment which we can be able to bring on board. So empowerment is not just about access. It's about what you do with what you have. In this case, sometimes we allow people to have content, teach them, but now we should empower them to be able to solve problems. There are some efforts towards this investing in digital literacy for all with the private sector, technology companies. Some countries have also moved towards supporting innovation hubs and youth entrepreneurship, because we should start as early as now and as early as whichever age. For as long as somebody is able to speak, no matter how young they are, they should be shown what to do so that they can, in the long run, innovate and come up with things which will inspire development in the continent. We should also be willing to share our skills, foster mentorship and leadership for and privileged people like women and youth. In fact, the year is a case, something which they even gave me an award last year. In fact, this year. This young scientist Kenya is something I'm very much passionate about. I've been serving as the head judge for technology for the last 8 years. And this is something which is facilitated and also supported by the government of Ireland, and we target people who are in high schools. So it has categories in the technology. There is also other sciences and business and so on. And what we advocate for is for the youth-led innovation solving challenges. Sometimes we see some very unique solutions which are normally nurtured with our support. Then finally, this culminates into a national exhibition and competition. So we can drive transformation through collaboration. Like I've said, no single actor can achieve sustainable transformation alone. Let's work together from different countries, from different institutions, government, academia, industry. Because nobody, if we succeed, in fact, we succeed all of us. If we fail all of us. That's why collaboration is very important. Should also promote digital governance. That's where the previous speaker talked about policies. But at times technology moves very fast. And the policies we put in place may not be, some even outlive their usefulness. So for me, I always encourage people, you move, do whatever you are doing. The regulators or the policymakers will find you on the move. But you cannot wait for people who don't seem to be moving at your pace to be able to determine what you do. Then research, industry collaboration, and also evidence-based policies. So transformation only happen in education technology when education, innovation, and also governance works in harmony. So my clarion call would be, let's empower, whether it's youth, women, everybody. We encourage innovations. We also transform and change the way in which we do things. From experience, I believe education provides the foundation. Technology is there, is universal. It offers the tools which you can be able to use. And the collaboration, because nobody can do it all alone, it ensures some sustainability. So the future is already here. Let's not adapt to the future. Let's define it now. Unless we know where you want to go, there's no way we'll ever tell whether we will get there. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Michael. That was so insightful. And yes, the technology is almost everywhere now, and we need to infuse it into the innovation that we are doing in Africa so that it can help us to leverage more in other communities. Thank you so much, Dr. Michael. And on behalf of ADF Africa, I would like to appreciate you. Appreciate for you to even acknowledge our invitation for this event. I really appreciate your presence here. Thank you so much. Please, let's appreciate Dr. Michael on the chat box. Let's send him some emojis to appreciate him for being here today. Yes, let's keep it coming. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Michael. And yes, we can let you off the call now, but you can still stay with us if you still want to enjoy the section. All right, thank you so much and enjoy your day, Dr. Michael. We'll be moving on to the next innovation for today, as we'll be having Mr. Jayola, who will be presenting to us his innovation for this moment. Mr. Jayola, how are you doing today? You're muted.
Oh, thank you very much, Yetunde. It's really nice. It's really a privilege to be here today. Thank you.
All right. Okay, you can move on with your innovation. Thank you. Just in 5 minutes, please.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jayola Ilawi, and I'm really excited to introduce our company, Tribe Africa, to you. Tribe Africa is a company that literally turns waste into wealth. At Tribe Africa, we are tackling two of Nigeria's biggest challenges at once. That's energy poverty and food insecurity. By converting agricultural and poultry waste into clean energy and organic fertilizer. So in short, we are on a mission to enrich our waste and power communities sustainably. Now let's talk about the problems we are facing. Over 40% of Nigerians still don't have access to electricity, which forces millions of households to depend on firewood, kerosene, or fuel generators just to cook and power basic needs. And here's the thing: 59% of the nation's, like 59% of the nation's energy use goes to household cooking alone. But in the last year, the price of kerosene and gas, cooking gas, have doubled. Because of that, more people are cutting down trees for firewood, which is worsening deforestation, desertation, and erosion across the country. At the same time, we are throwing away tons of agricultural waste every day, which could actually be turned into clean and affordable energy. So really, Nigerians' problem isn't just lack of energy. We are wasting what we could use to power our household and our homes. So, Trababika, this is where we come in. We created a system that transforms plants and animal waste into biogas, which we can use for cooking, electricity, and organic fertilizer. And we are also on the research of using biogas to fuel vehicles. We are not stopping there. We are also running a mobile poultry farm that supplies affordable protein like eggs, chickens, right to community, like give them direct access to our poultry services. So from one process, we are generating clean energy, organic manure, and food. And while we are also protecting the environment at large. So here are some of the benefits. So our biogas costs 4 times less than the regular gas and kerosene we have in Nigeria. That's a very good and and it's really saving families. We are helping farmers grow more with organic manure, and we are also reducing the need to cutting firewood, which means fewer trees are cut down by years. And because of our mobile poultry units, we can move between locations, we can deliver fresh food, energy upgrade to different communities around rural areas. So to keep it simple, clean energy, better food, healthier planet, all from waste. Sorry. So let's take a quick dive into our business model. We have um we have four main income streams. Our first one is to sell organic manure to co farmers. The second one, we sell biogas as affordable as cooking gas, and we sell our biogas for 300 naira per kilogram. Our third model is we build community biogas plants. So we just started a biogas plant construction at a community in Ibadan around our home. So we started constructing a large biogas plant that will actually feed the community and help power their community. Also, we are actually helping cutting down their um, firewood usage, because most of the women in the community, they go out to the forest and cut down trees, and this is really affecting Nigerian economy. Sorry. So our tracking so far, we have reached some exciting milestones. We've conducted market research in over 30 cities in Nigeria. We've got over 100 customers already on our pre-sale list, and we've secured a site for our biogas plant, our permanent biogas plant. We'll be feeding different different people and different communities at large all over Nigeria. And we are also like constructing our biogas mobile poultry prototype, the vehicle, so that will be moving to different locations to sell eggs and chicken and live chickens.
30 seconds more, or are you done?
All right, let me quickly round it off. Okay,
You
so
can just wrap up and do a summary.
all right, so let's just quickly talk about our company. So while we focus on just one thing, many poultry farm and biogas plants, so they actually they segregated more of their solutions, but we are integrating our solution into one big solution. So we are producing biogas, and we also run a mobile poultry farm to keep coming and to feed communities. So let me quickly run over to the right. So far we've been able to construct our biogas our biogas stand at Saragomi, and we are also moving ahead to construct more biogas at different communities in Ibadan. So we hope to go through that, and we hope to like build sustainable energy solution in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Jayola, for showing us your innovation, and that is a very interesting one. And when it comes to biogas, there are a lot of potential from that, because we are transitioning from using the normal thing that we use now to sustainability, just to ensure that our community is safe. All right, thank you so much. And yes, Mr. Jayola is open for collaboration for investors. So, Mr. Jayola, you can drop your contact so that people can reach out to you when they need your service or they want to collaborate or invest in your innovation. Thank you so much for showing us your innovation. We really appreciate it. And you're doing well. Well done. All right, thank you. So we're moving to the next section for today. And yes, I'm so excited for this section because I'm going to hear some wonderful voices. And the section is an open mic for Voices of Africa. Voices of Africa. So I'm here to listen to the Voices of Africa, as I'll be asking you just one or two questions, and I want you to give an answer to it. So are you ready? If you're ready, please put it in the chat box. I am ready. I want to see that. I am ready. I want to see that on the chat box. Oh, good. I can see I am ready. Yeah. Okay, let me see more. Let me see more. Oh, good. I can see a lot of voices already. Oh, that is fantastic. Good. Okay, let me just start with, for our team for today, which is, who will remember our team for this section for the African Summit for Sustainable Development? Who can remind me? It's unleashing Africa potential for the future we want. So I want to ask a question now. I want to ask, the question is, what does the Africa we want for Africa mean to you? What does the future we want for Africa, what does it mean to you? You can use the raise hand button, and you can also put that on the chat box while we acknowledge some people to contribute to that. Okay, I can see Mr. Laddie's hand raised already. You can unmute your mic and contribute.
Hello, good morning once more, everyone.
Hello, good morning.
The Africa we want is an Africa whereby productivity is higher than consumption. Because if you check now, the way Africa is now, we tend to consume more than we produce, and also we are not ready to take charge of our natural resources and other resources we have. Because if you check, you see that other countries are coming to invest. They are coming to like harness what we have, and they'll still come back and sell it for us at a costlier.
Yeah.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate. And if we can move into sustainability, I think it will be very good for us, whereby we practice renewable energy, how like we use renewable energy to generate electricity. And also they have a place in Kenya that they use plastics to make bricks to build houses.
Yes.
So if we go into all these practices, utilizing our waste, I think Africa will rank far higher than other countries. And with that, we are projecting Africa forward. So what I just is we need cooperation and togetherness. Through that, I believe that if we have one voice, nothing is hard to us.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Lamidi. Let's appreciate Mr. Lamidi. That was fantastic. That was awesome. Please, let's appreciate him. All right, thank you. I have here Mr. Ali Usman. Mr. Ali Usman, you can unmute your mic and speak now.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, good morning, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to be here. So to make it quite quick, the Africa I want, the Africa I envision is a knowledge-driven Africa. And I believe that cannot happen unless we get the leadership right. Because I want to see an Africa where we have the next Google, the next Tesla, the next, imagine innovations coming from the continent. But unfortunately, we cannot attain this level until we get the leadership right at all levels. And I would like to remind everyone of us here that leadership starts with us. We are the leaders. We are the future of the continent. We must start doing things right. We must start seeing ourselves as a powerful force driving this change in the African continent. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Leos, but that was powerful. We are all leaders that we look up to, so let's do better. Okay, let me have Salim Mato. I didn't get that your name. Salim Mato. Okay, yes, let's have you, please.
Hi.
Hi.
I am Salima Tubari from the Gambia.
Okay.
An 18 years old girl.
I can hear you.
To me, the future we want for Africa means a continent where youth are empowered, education is accessible to all, and innovation drives sustainable development. It's a future where African solutions lead global progress, and our diversity becomes our strength, not a divide. A united, reliant Africa with strong institutions, inclusive growth, and leaders who serve with integrity. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Salimata. That was insightful. Thank you so much. All right, let's have you, Mr. Peter.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. I would like to add up to the first speaker's one where he spoke about we are reducing consumption and increasing productivity. But I think that we cannot reduce consumption since population keeps on growing. So what we can do is minimizing efficiency, minimizing the input that we put into producing goods so that we can maximize the production through sustainable measures, because most of the cases it is as a result of lack of sustainable measures which are not applied to this productivity. That is why we do not realize much productivity to enable us go where we want to. So if we take into consideration sustainable measures that will enable us to increase and maintain our productivity, I think consumption wouldn't be a problem, since we have measures in place to mitigate anything that will reduce our productivity.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Peter. And yes, that was a fact. Yeah, we need to maintain what we have now so that it can be useful for others. Okay, let's have you, Francisca.
Good morning, everyone. My name is.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, to me, the future of Africa that I see is Africa where the healthcare systems are very affordable to every individual, from people who have jobs to people who do not have jobs, to vulnerable individuals that live in the rural areas. Because to me, it's still very crazy that women die from childbirth and pregnancy. It just doesn't make sense anymore, because this is 2025. So I see a future in Africa where the healthcare systems are affordable and accessible to every individual, no matter our social demographic dividend. So thank you.
All right, okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, let me read some that are in the chat. before we comment. I can see, oh, wow. Okay, the future of Africa that we want is the one where the young people are at the forefront in driving practical social economy and practical change by being real catalyst of development. Let's make, Mr. Michael Kimwele says, let's make change in whichever small way we can. Thank you, sir. And Lauren is saying the Africa we want is an inclusive and intergenerational one, guided a mix of indigenous knowledge and modern innovative science. Thank you all for contributing. That was so insightful. And I'm so sorry, I might not be able to take all, but you can put your suggestion or what you think the Africa we want can be on the chat box so that we can put that in record. Thank you so much, everyone that has contributed. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And we appreciate your presence always, every time. Okay, but before we go on, I would like to just acknowledge one more person before we round up this section. So I would like to give Ucha Elijah the floor so you can speak. Please, just in 1 second. Thank you. Oh, I think he has dropped it on the chat already. Okay, you've dropped it on the chat, so I will help you read that out. Let's just have Engineer Matthew, and before we round up. Engineer Matthew, you have the floor now.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, that is Abibu, right? Okay,
Yes.
please go on.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
The future. I am a classroom teacher. I teach in a school, and I always dream of being among the curriculum planners. But unfortunately, since I don't have time, I decided to contribute in my own little way. And I believe if every teacher would do this, Africa is going to be great, and the world in general. So what I did, I have created two clubs. One is UTEC club that I take care of students, especially in digital literacy, programming. I have my own team at the back, and I also created another club, Young Farmers Club. What will surprise you, this year we cultivated a cucumber in our school using small space. We cultivated a cucumber that worth 147,000 naira, and the students were able to pay their school fees within the program. And apart from that, we use some money to sponsor the education of 3 orphans, which is 35,000 Nigerian currency.
That's good.
Then, so if each and every teacher would do this, I think the future of our youth will be great. And secondly, I introduce another club.
Hello. Okay, Engineer Matthew, can you unmute your mic and speak now?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, now, the Africa we want is a kind of reformation where our leadership can pave way for referendum whereby we can have a direct participation in by citizens, direct decision making in progress, and asking specific questions, typically asking questions that make a choice, binding the adversaries and the advisories, referendums, and also Africa, whereby we can have a long-term vision on the table where we pursue based on our political and regional beliefs. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Engineer Matthew. And let me just read the one on the chat while we round up this section. Mr. Elijah saying a prosperous, integrated, and peaceful Africa, one where inclusive growth and sustainable development eradicate poverty in the generation, good governance, democracy, human rights, and rule of law flourish. And strong cultural identity, and Pan-African unity drive, a continent that respects global player. Mr. Dan is saying the future of Africa lies in the hands of the young generation. Unless we take action now, Africa will remain underdeveloped. All right, thank you so much for those that have contributed. And I can see one more by Mr. Bridge Abel is saying the future we want is the Africa where mental health counseling is prioritized to make young people mentally fit and sound to protect our ecosystem. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your contribution. I'm sorry I might not be able to take other hands right now as we are running out of time for this section. So thank you so much. I acknowledge everyone who has participated in that and raised their hand just for them to share the innovative idea with us. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. I'll be handing over to Mr. Mayowa now. He's a development director at ADF Africa. Mr. Mayowa, over to you, sir. Hello, Mr. Mayowa. Okay, while we wait for Mr. Mayowa to join us on the call, I would like to read other innovative idea on the chat box here. I can see Mr. Anthony from Chukuma is from Nigeria, Store Products Research Institute Africa, okay, as one of the largest landmarks. Good. Food production is not our problem. We need to increase productivity and mechanization while choosing organic imports, which naturally is available as against chemical alternative. Wow, that's awesome. And I can see Bona here saying we need Africa where we need Africa that is in charge of its development, growth, and innovation. Africa where everyone become the innovative of the world. Wow. Okay, Mr. Bridge is adding that the future is not built, it is grown. Yes, just like one of our speaker has said today. And we also have Mr. Bako saying, until we train our mind to believe that all we need to succeed in Africa is in Africa, we cannot break through and break forth. Yes, because everything we have in Africa can make us grow, but we are not seeing it like that. We need to start having a positive mindset about Africa so that we can grow beyond where we are at the moment. All right, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. Mr. Aliyu, you can kindly put your opinion on the chat. I'm going to definitely acknowledge that. So we're moving to the next section now. Okay. I think the network is not friendly to Mr. Mayowa right now. This network. Okay. So to go forward on this section, I would like to invite in Mr. Femi. He's also our director at ADF Africa. Mr. Femi, it's nice to have you here. Well done, sir.
Thank you so much here today. It's been a wonderful time here today, and I want to believe everyone that has joined the call this morning up to now has taken a lot of information, and that is definitely going to bring about the Africa we want. And thanks to everyone that has participated in the just concluded section by sharing their thoughts on the dream they have about the blessed African country. So moving forward on that, we would like to speak this and say this to everyone, that we don't just want that statement to be said in the air alone, but to be a commitment, to be something that we will work with and to achieve. Just like one of the speakers said, that we should see ourselves as leaders. So every one of us on this call, we are all leaders. We have to begin to practice what we say. To achieve this, we'll be sharing a form with you all to fill, where you'll be able to put the statement, the Africa we all want, the Africa you desire, the Africa you wish to see in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. So you will be putting that statement down. And of course, we'll be collating all these statements together as a commitment and as a reminder to everyone that we have a vision, we have a goal to achieve, we have something that we have to bring to reality regarding our dear continent, Africa. So when you receive the form, the Africa Development Statement form, do well to fill it, do well to put the Africa of your desire, what you want to see in the next 5, 10, 15 years in Africa. So that is a very important one we need to do. Now moving on to other important information that I would like to also share with everyone on the call this afternoon now here in Nigeria, is that today is the pre-summit. So imagine if this pre-summit is like this, what are we going to have in the main summit itself? You would definitely agree with me that it's going to be a whole lot of blessing and very insightful sections. So officially, we are unveiling the summit date of the Africa Sustainable Development to be next year, January 22nd to 24th. 22nd to 24th of January 2026. You want to put that in your diary, you want to save that in your calendar, you want to ensure that you do not miss that date, because it's going to be a very, very wonderful day, an engaging one, an impactful one, which I would also like you to invite as many as you can. So save the date. The real summit, the main summit, will be taking place on the 22nd to 24th of January 2026. And you can also do well to partner with us regarding this, and we'll be having a partner form out immediately after this event. I mean, immediately after the pre-summit now, and this will span through till this will span through till December of 2025 this year, December 15th this year. So let's do well to also get engaged with that. And even if you know an organization that will also be interested in this, you can also forward the link, the partnership link, to them to bring this event and to more interesting faith that we want it to be, so that we will all work together to have the Africa of our dream. Likewise, this is the pre-summit, and you have all registered for it, and without doubt, I want to believe that you will be ready to come for the main summit. So the registration for the main summit is on already. Due to the fact that you have registered for the pre-summit, we are happy to let you know that automatically we have moved you to be a registered participant of the main summit. I mean, that's a benefit you are having there from us. So we'll be extending the call for delegates for the main summit till the 31st of December this year. So the registration link is still that same registration link. So do well to share with your friends, with your colleagues, with your organization, with everyone, as far as they are African. Even if they are not African, of course, we other continents, we can also work together, we can collaborate together to achieve something great so as to have our continent better, to be a better continent that we want it to be. So in a nutshell, number one, don't let us forget, we'll share a form with you called the Africa Development Statement form that you put the statement of the Africa of your dream, of my dream, of our dream. Secondly, the official pre-summit date, the official summit date is 22nd to 24th of January 2026. Then we have our call for partners. This will span through till the 15th of December this year, and our call for delegates till 31st of December this year. So let's do it to keep an eye on our tab, and then always be ready to get engaged, always be ready to be the change agent of the Africa that we want. So on this note, I want to say thank you so much for joining us, and it's been a wonderful time. Yesterday, you've really done a good job today. Yes, I must really commend you for all the coordination, for all the great job that you've done, and to everyone that has spoken, our keynote speaker, our guest speaker, our expert. Thank you so much for the great job that you have done. We really learned a lot from all what you have said, all what you have shared, and to all the delegates on the call. We have a very good number. Even up to now, we still have a very, very good number. For you staying true for the past 2 hours on the call, it's so amazing. Thank you from every part of the African countries that you've joined. Thank you, and we will look forward to seeing you in the main summit. So on this note, we're rounding up, and we are saying thank you and have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So on behalf of ADF Africa, we are saying thank you as we anticipate the summit in 2026. And yes, as you have all heard, it's going to be a very interesting one, a very fantastic program, and you all would not want to miss. It is the Africa Summit for Sustainable Development. Please don't forget to follow us on every social media handle, as we are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, for you to connect with other programs that we'll be having at ADF Africa. You're always welcome for every program that we have at ADF Africa. And yes, this is to say thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And that will be all for today. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.
Yeah, bye, everyone. Thank you.